Matches Balone. Hey, what is up guys? Matches Balone here, bringing you guys another DC Toy Box TV review. Today we're going to be looking at the Rock Candy Supergirl vinyl figure. Okay, so like always guys, before we get into the actual figure review, I do want to go over the packaging. This is an open window box, so we do get to see a glimpse of the figure inside. Up top we do get a Rock Candy logo with vinyl collectible, as well as a Supergirl logo across the bottom. On the side you do get this kind of shattered design where it's a matte black with this glossy black on top. We get a supersized Supergirl logo. I really like that she has this kind of glossy lettering in the front of the letters, and then on the sides it's more of this kind of colored pink, so it looks really cool. On the back we do get a bigger image of the figure inside, as well as the rest of the Rock Candy DC Comics figures. I also like this kind of like background border. It's very I want to say a collage of comics, and it just looks really fitting for this comic book Supergirl. Right here we do get a Rock Candy logo as well as vinyl collectible, and we get the collect all of the DC comic Rock Candy figures. On the bottom we get a Supergirl logo as well as a Wonder Brothers logo, a Funko logo, and a DC Comics logo right here in the corner. Then on the side, again continuing with this kind of shattered design, we do get the matte black with the glossy black on top. Right there you can see with the light reflecting off it, as well as these bubbles that showcase some of the rest of the figures inside of this line, as well as another DC Comics logo right there. Up top we do once again see the same Rock Candy logo with vinyl collectible, Supergirl logo, Funko logo, and the DC Comics logo. Then on the bottom we pretty much just get some manufacturing details with the Funko logo, made in Vietnam, barcode, and some of Funko's social media contacts. So that is pretty much it guys. I'm going to get Supergirl out of her packaging and then we can check her out. Alright guys, here we have Supergirl out of her packaging. Now before we get into the figure, I do want to mention that this is a two-piece set, so out of the box you would get the figure as well as the base. Supergirl does do a pretty good job standing up. I think she's probably the best one designed standing up, just because her legs are really nicely spread apart. But it's nice that we do have this kind of stand to her. It just helps stabilize her, so you know she won't be wobbling and eventually fall over. So it is really nice. I really am happy that Funko gave us this. It is just a solid black, a solid clear plastic with some peg holes. You know, so that's how she sticks on. I do want to say there is this like really weird scratch mark on mine. I don't know why. It's not that big of a complaint, but it is really weird that it has a scratch mark. But you know, that's a little unfortunate. So right off the bat, I gotta say this is really cool. This is probably one of my favorite figures out of this toy line so far. I think she looks still very feminine, right? You know, obviously she's Supergirl, but still looks very powerful. The other figures, their stance, it is really cool, but I feel they're very sassy, and they still, you know, Supergirl as well has attitude, but I feel she really invokes heroic, right? She invokes hero compared to the other ones, you know, and it's not a gripe or a knock against the other ones. I just feel this stance just because of how her legs are spread apart and her fists are kind of ready to go, and they're building up, kind of like when she's flexing her muscles. She just evokes power, so I really like that design. I also like the colors. The colors are really awesome. These are really bright red with bright yellow, and I like the light blue. This is definitely classic Superman, classic Supergirl. I would have just preferred if this was a more standard blue instead of a light blue. But still, looks really awesome. I like how they kind of give her these glossy boots. Looks really good. It really makes that red pop compared to like the skirt or her cape. But still, you can see that the cape and the skirt are still very bright and very colorful. You can see, you know, her back right there. You know, and I like her hair. I think they sculpted her hair really nice. And again, because it is such a bright yellow, you know, she's blonde. it just looks really good. You know, I like to have color in my figures. I think these comic book characters deserve color. I'm really tired of all these movies and TV shows making them very dark. So I really am happy for that. You know, she has skin tone. They look really nice. You know, her legs and her fists and you know the rest of her face. I gotta say, her facial expression also kind of evokes this like power to her, as well as still being feminine. I don't know. It's something about how she's standing. You know, she just looks like she's ready to go. She's ready to fight. So it looks really good. You know, and her lips, having the red lipstick, really makes her lips pop out as well as the blue eyes. You know, they look really good. Also, like how they kind of covered half of her eyebrow right here, almost like if her hair really is draping over her face. That thing that is really cool and really interesting. You know, her logo looks really awesome right there. The the House of L shield. So that looks really cool. The belt buckle looks awesome as well. I really like how they sculpted in these belt loops, right, for the skirt. So that's really awesome. She does have a very simple design to her, so there's not textures into her outfit. But, you know, just because how bright she is, I think it works for her. Also, like right here, if you kind of pay attention, it does almost look like the cape is kind of getting tugged into her shirt. You know, almost like that classic, you know, Superman, Supergirl design. So that is really awesome. You know, overall, I'm just really happy with this figure. This is probably the first figure coming straight out of the box where I'm just like, this is super cool, and I don't really have any gripes or complaints against her. You know, it just looks really awesome. So for a bit of a comparison, I do have the rest of the DC Comics Rock Candy figures. So right here, I do have the Rock Candy Harley Quinn. And I'm gonna try to spread these as much as I can, and the modern day Batgirl. So right off the bat, you do see that they all belong to one another, even though they are coming from essentially different periods, right? This is Supergirl's probably one of the earlier characters, and then Harley Quinn coming from the animated series, Batgirl coming from the modern day comics. Yet they all belong to one another, and their stance are very different from one another. Supergirl looks really powerful, but yet Harley Quinn still looks she's ready to swing her mallet, and Batgirl, same thing. She's ready with her batarang at hand. Um, and so they just look really good. And what I really like about here is that Harley Quinn, she has very vibrant colors as well. But yet, something about Supergirl, she just looks a lot brighter. Maybe it's because instead of black, she has blue, and instead of white, she has yellow, but she still looks really good. And you can really see how these two characters are a lot brighter than compared to the modern day Batgirl. Yet modern day Batgirl still looks really good with all her details and all her more, I guess, realistic take. So neither one is really trumping over the other. They just look really good overall, and I think if you guys are really going to invest in this line, you're going to be really happy. Um, but yeah, to continue these kind of comparisons, I do have the classic Batgirl right here. Put her off to the side. And I do have the Batman v Superman Wonder Woman right here. And once again, continuing with, even though these are coming from different eras, different genres, they still look good with one another. These two obviously look so much alike because they're pretty much coming from the same type of era of comics, right? And their costumes really tell that. They're very bright, yet they're very simple. And at the same time, they're very bold. But again, comparing Supergirl to Batgirl, she just has this very powerful stance compared to Batgirl, who has more of a sassy stance. And right here, what I want to point out, especially on these two figures, is that the red on her lipstick really makes kind of her whole face pop. Whilst these two, their lips have either a lighter lipstick or maybe they're just regular skin tone. So I think that's really interesting. But I gotta say, these two are probably my favorite figure so far was the Harley Quinn. And then what I also want to, let's push her to the side, what I also want to point out here, considering that these are very powerful characters on their own, and you can argue who's more powerful, I would always say Wonder Woman is probably better, not better, just, overall stronger than Supergirl. Um, but yet, her stance makes her show her power, really show that, you know, she's a powerhouse. Whilst this Wonder Woman, she just has this really sassy stance to her. So it is kind of interesting. Also, you can see how this is more of a live action costume, that she has all this great detail inside of her outfit. I'm gonna, you know, zoom in to her just a little bit. You know, you can see how she has all this great detail, but her colors are a lot more. I keep saying they're washed out. You know, that's just what it looks to me. And even though she has a more simple design, those bright colors really make her pop a lot more than this Wonder Woman. You know, they still look good. Like I said, all of them look really good. Uh, you know, I'm really happy overall. Like I said, even though they're coming from different genres, they all pretty much stand with one another. And if you're really gonna invest in this, you're gonna be happy having the whole bunch of them. So that's really cool. But once again, I'm gonna get these girls out so we can just focus on Supergirl herself. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. There's not much more I can say. I like that the cape is a little bit of a soft plastic. You could give it a little move, but it is attached there. But you can still see that they did design all the way around, so that is really cool. But like I said, there's not much more I can say. These are just, you know, vinyl figures that they're meant to look cool. You're probably going to put them on your desk or on a shelf, and they're just going to really make your whole room look better. So I would definitely recommend this to all you Supergirl fans out there, or all you general DC Comics fans, or if you guys are just vinyl figure collectors in general. I think Supergirl will be a really awesome addition to your collections. You know, she looks really cool, and I'm really impressed with her. She is so far the only figure right out of the box that I'm just sold, and I'm just like, this is Supergirl. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Like the video, you guys like it, dislike if you didn't, and subscribe, and look forward to more videos. Thanks. Laters. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Comment down below with any of you guys' thoughts and opinion. Do you guys like this rock candy figures? Have you guys already been collecting them? If you haven't, are you interested in it? Like the video, you guys like it, dislike it if you didn't, and subscribe, and look forward to more videos. Thanks. Laters.